I really want to say thank you for joining us this morning. And we want to also thank our sponsors for making this event possible. And this includes the City of Cape Town, PPC, TechMT, Oracle, KnowBe4, Africa, Voxawave, LexisNexis, Maredi Technologies, Squidnet, Silicon Cape, Savcar, Zoho, and last but definitely not least, Aramex. Thank you so much. This day would not be possible without you.
So good morning, Zanele, and thanks so much for introducing me. I hope that Joburg is treating you well. Today I'm sitting in Cape Town. It's great to be in the mother city. Cape Town is certainly starting to heat up. It's a fourth virtual summit for Topco this year. We've obviously had a number of guests. We have over 6,000 top executives attend our virtual summits in the last 4 months, and literally thousands to our masterclasses. And what we've seen and what we've been able to see is the best that virtual events have to offer.
Who would have known 6 months ago that working remotely would be such a big thing, and of course that there would be such a big difference between what you really do when you remote work and what your family thinks you do, what your co-workers think you do, and of course what you actually do. The best is still ahead of you. Why I think Africa and technology, if they can kind of come together with the right discipline, this might be the absolute best times ahead, not just for you as a continent or you for a company, but you as individuals.
I'm Brian Bacon. I'm the chairman and founder of Oxford Leadership. We run the leadership development in the corporate universities of some of the biggest companies in the world. One of the things in leadership that I've discovered, actually not just about leadership, I think in life, there are two things that we have to master to be able to progress, to do well. Context and choices. And let me start with the second. At the end of the day, it's going to be the choices that you make that will determine where you will end up. You know, make good choices. Make good choices in your marriage, make good choices in your diet, make good choices in your business, and make good choices about the way in which you lead.
And you know, we are doing increasingly more work to create a far stronger sustainability agenda. And our key focus is on building, making packaging part of the circular economy with a focus of 100% collection rate and increasing our recycling efforts.
Mindset in thinking from moving away from linear economy to a much more circular, with keeping resources and material as long as possible in the loop to ensure that we have very limited and minor going to the landfill site, because we can reuse, we can recycle, we can recover, we can reclaim in the value chain.
Get to, for example, dress up as a supplier or sort of a third party to try and trick you to let them into the network or the building or even your house. So this is just something to keep in mind, that whenever you receive anything incoming, whether that's an email or a WhatsApp, and it triggers your emotions, whether that's positive or negative, that you may be manipulated. And the best way to prevent falling for that is to actually just take a deep breath and count to 10.
A number of large companies have come together to apply their mind as to where is this going and how can we adjust. And it sounds easy that we say, you know, we should move away from coal-based generation of electricity. Wonderful. But don't forget the livelihood that is associated with the coal mining in South Africa. So we do need to apply our minds very carefully and not make too quick conclusions. But the country is blessed with an abundance of resources.
I'm Brett, CEO of Zapper, and the talk that I would like to take you through today is the rising importance of fintech innovation in the new age. You know, that's really the space that we're in right now as far as fintech is concerned. There's a lot of innovation happening around tap and go payments on mobile devices. You know, there's a lot of innovation happening around different forms of tokenization and sort of card on file to allow those transactions to take place.
It is a no-brainer really that digitization will have a significant positive contribution towards economic growth in Africa. I think we are all well aware of that. I mean, we've seen in the early adopters in Europe and in the US where really digitization has really significantly improved their economies. I think in some cases going as much as 25% increment due to the impact of digitization.
Expanding the availability of HR on a 24/7 basis. So I don't need to wait to go into the office tomorrow morning to fill in a leave form at the HR department and apply for it. I can actually apply for leave and actually get the approval done when I'm at home, regardless of what time it is. And some of the benefits that we actually see out of this conversational way of doing things is that it's allowing us to lower the cost through automation. So there are a lot of routine things that people will typically go and ask an HR department. When is payday? Has my time card been captured in time for payroll? How much leave do I have available? All of that sort of reply and response can be automated, freeing HR up. And more importantly, it provides information access to the people that need to have that information when they need to have it. And that access of information is available across multiple channels, whether it's on Teams, whether it's on Slack, WhatsApp, etc., etc. It's all available 24/7. So I'm increasing access to information and again, allowing better decision-making capabilities.
And ultimately, I think the constraint will be to answer the question, what do we want automation to do? It's most obviously transaction in its orientation, so don't have people doing routine transactional work, just give all of that to the bots. But the other side of the coin is to say, what do we want people doing?
GovChat journey and the GovChat story, many of you might not know, but GovChat actually started off a platform called Mixit. Many of you would know Mixit. Many of you met your girlfriend or boyfriend on the Mixit platform.
There's been quite a lot of hope because, as everyone's mentioned, there has been a massive shift to online. And that is one of the things actually we've been struggling with in markets like Nigeria, especially, and in Kenya, that the move to e-commerce has been very slow. You know, as much as there's a lot of investment there, a lot of great startups, it just hasn't really moved the needle. People still want to have a hybrid model.
If you look at it from a satellite communications point of view, essentially a telecom satellite is sitting around 36,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. And so most of us have DSTV or digital TV at home. And essentially what is happening, so if you think of watching, let's say, soccer or Formula One live, essentially what's happening is the signal is being broadcasted from one end of the Earth, is transmitted to the satellite, and the satellite is transmitting it back towards Earth. This is the value of satellite telecommunications. Its reach is beyond even the cellular networks that we know.
You can use it for client education. And now, for the first time in Africa, we've created the first full curriculum adaptive learning online high school in partnership with Bridge House. This means that now we can automate by using pre-recorded micro video masterclasses. We can automate the learning cycle. And basically what we can do is now, instead of a teacher standing in front of a classroom and repeating subject matter over and over and over again, we can now automate that process. And everyone always says, yeah, but online recordings isn't always that great. But that's the biggest issue in education currently, is we can scale the process of a teacher teaching something in such a way that a 5-year-old can understand it.
Importantly, IoT has now become a global business, more so than ever before in the times we would have called in the industry machine-to-machine days by the mobile network operators.